viewers, I am DS. Welcome to another episode on Channel NIT. So in this episode, we are going to use psychological principles to help you or your child to plan their exam schedules. So basically, a lot of schools, they would have already given you the exam timetable way before the exam itself, or if you are a current undergraduate, you also will have your schedule. So if you know your schedule at least 2 weeks in advance, what you can do is you can start to plan your schedule. So in this episode, we are going to talk about how you can use psychological principles to reap the maximum benefit of scheduling. But before that, we have to know how short-term and long-term memory works. So in episode 36A, we actually did a memory test with our guest Samuel and tested him on his short-term memory. So episode 36A is designed to be an interactive episode where the viewers can also try to see if their memory or short-term memory is good by doing the test concurrently with Samuel. So if you want to have your memory tested to know how good your memory is, go ahead and refer to the episode and test your memory from there. But for this episode, we are going to talk about certain well-established memory effects. And after having known these memory effects, I will also tell you how you can make use of these memory effects to better study and prepare for any exam that will give you the maximum benefit and potentially a better result. So it applies to students of all ages. You can be an adult student trying to get a certificate, or you can just be a young PSLE student, so it does not matter. In the case of the young PSLE student, mommy and daddy can come and watch this video and prepare for the child which day he should study what and what topics to study. So let's get into it. First, we talk about memory effects. Our memory has got a lot of different effects. Short-term memory effects and long-term memory effects are essentially very similar. They all have the same characteristics. The first memory effect that applies to human beings is called the serial position effect. So imagine you have to memorize an 8-digit number, such as this one, and you are only given 5 seconds to do so. You will try your best to memorize the number, you may even recite the number, and after 5 seconds, you might have forgotten numbers in the middle. But you will remember that this number starts with a 5 and it ends with a 9. This is known as the serial position effect, which is the tendency for people to remember things in front and things at the back. Usually, whatever that happens in the middle is forgotten. However, it is possible for you to remember numbers in the middle if they had some significance to you. So for example, your birthday falls on the 18th of March, so the number 183 has great significance to you. So you might remember this chain of numbers. So you might be able to remember this sequence of numbers better because you see 183, which is relevant to you. This is known as the self-referencing effect. So there is another effect known as the attention effect. You tend to remember what you paid attention to. And people tend to pay attention to things that are unusual. So look at this sequence of numbers. You see 777 in the middle, and it captures your attention. So you are more likely to remember that this number has a 777 in the middle. So usually people do not remember things in the middle unless they identify with it because of the self-referencing effect or because it captured their attention. Just to give you another example, in our real everyday life, you probably would have forgotten what you ate for lunch last Tuesday or what you had for breakfast last Wednesday because you probably didn't pay attention to it. But if you had paid attention to it because it's significant to you, because it was your birthday, or because your girlfriend, she prepared it specially for you, or girlfriend cannot prepare, lockdown period, okay. Whatever, like imagine, okay. Okay, so if it was something significant, then you probably would have remembered it better. Another possibility that we can remember what we ate last Tuesday or last Wednesday is that we eat literally the same thing every day, so there's no dip. Every day we eat chicken rice. So this is known as the frequency effect. So if something happens so frequently, you will tend to remember it as well. So let's see how we can make use of these 4 effects to help you to plan your schedule. So generally, our long-term effects and your short-term effects work exactly the same way. So in order to reap the best benefit for trying to remember things for an exam, what you can do is this. Suppose you have 2 weeks to prepare for your exam, and we separate the 2 weeks into 14 days. Based on the serial position effect, which is a tendency for us to remember things in front and things at the back, you should always place very important chapters either right in front, that means to study them in day 1 and day 2, or right at the back, which is day 13 and day 14. So this can work for a subject, for example science. You must first identify hot topics or important topics, then place them to be studied right in front or right at the back. Or if you have an O-level schedule where you have 7 subjects or 8 subjects to handle, then you can place important subjects right in front and at the back, those that you are weaker in perhaps. So it works both ways. So what I mean is that you can plan based on topics or plan based on subjects. Now, we have the self-referencing effect, the tendency for us to remember things that are relevant to us. So what this means is that within a particular topic or within some subjects, there are some subjects that you tend to do better in, right? Let's say you are very good in your maths, then place maths in the middle because you tend to forget things in the middle due to the serial position effect. So to compensate this, you should put things that are very interesting in the middle, I mean studying them from day 3 to day 7, one topic that is very interesting to you personally, then what you're trying to do is you're trying to reap the self-referencing effect. So just now I've actually given a recommendation of placing topics that you think will surely come out either in front to be studied or at the back to be studied. You can also do this right in the middle, but you must pay attention to it, which means to say you must focus your attention on this subject. And when you can do so, you are reaping the attention effects. So since we have the tendency to forget things that we study in the middle, so the only way you can remember the things in the middle better is first, you like a subject that you are studying, put it in the middle. Read the self-referencing effect. Next, put things in the middle and pay great attention to it. Then you can remember these things in the middle better as well because you are reaping the attention effect, the benefits of the attention effect, which is the tendency that we tend to remember things that we paid attention to. So of course, the human brain works in very interesting ways when it comes to memory. So in one of my later episodes, I will be talking about the memory of names and the effect, the psychological effect of names on us and on other people. Just to give you a very quick preview of what I'm going to do on the memory of names, imagine you just met a new person. She introduced herself to you, and then after that, you forgot, what's her name, huh? I remember it starts with C. Because why? Serial position effect. You know that the name starts with C. And somehow or another, you know it's 7 letters. Then now you have to know, what's this name? Is it Cynthia? Corinne? Claudia? Clarice? Oh, so many female names with 7 letters and start with C, oh my god. But what is her real name? So even for a typical English name, it becomes so difficult. Let's say yours is a dialect name. Bi Siam, Bi Hun, Bi Leng, Bi what? So of course, some names are harder to memorize than others. So if somebody has to ask your name again and again, do pardon them. So names is a very interesting thing to talk about when we talk about psychology. So I look forward to see you in that episode. So I hope you have learned something about memory today. As a psychology channel, we always aim to produce material and psychological videos that's relevant for the city dweller or the city parent. So besides introducing psychological concepts such as the serial position effect, we have also attempted to make an application of it so that you can apply it to your real life. And we hope that this will value add to you more. So if you have not subscribed to us, do consider subscribe so that we can continue to add value to you. We hope that you have enjoyed today's episode as well, and we'll see you again in our next episode. Goodbye!